channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 3 is here, guys. We'll talk 3 big games like we always do. One being the Monday Nighter. We got a big one. Lions versus Ravens Monday night game. Can't ask for a better game on paper. At least teaser, alternate lines, and my favorite underdogs. We've been rolling in those segments to start the year. This week, like I mentioned, we will talk the 3 big games. Chargers versus Broncos. Eagles versus Rams. And the Ravens versus Lions on the Monday Nighter. Systemsportscapping.com or link.me/systemcapping for client opportunities. Support myself and the system. You got records over there, client comments, and more. Circa Survivor update. You guys know I have 2 entries with a client in the Circa Survivor for $18 million is the pot. A lot of people in it. But so far, so good. Both entries. Arizona and Baltimore last week. First time we used a big team. Baltimore was the first big team we've used. So we're sitting pretty good. I got another 2 upcoming Survivor picks. Staying away from the big teams. Want to save them for later as much as possible. NFL Week 2 was a profitable one for you guys if you tailed, and for clients as well. We hit all 3 underdogs in the underdog segment, guys. All 3 cashed that I gave out and that I said I like with shots to win outright. They all cashed. And we were all over the Falcons. Falcons was one of them. We were on the money line. We were on them plus 3.5 and the teaser market at plus 12.5. So all over the Falcons, and it paid off for us. One miss, and the one when I was disappointed about is Houston. Could have been almost a perfect week if Houston covered the 2.5. They were up 4 or 5, I believe, with a minute left, and Baker comes down the field and scores. Hey, hats off to Baker. That's all I can say. That Houston defense was playing outstanding until that. So I thought it was in the bag. Lucky I did have Houston plus 7.5 in the teaser for clients, and that cashed 2 and 2 this year. Alternate line and teasers. That's a good start there. I like to focus on those a little more than the spreads early on in the year, just because they can be tricky. Even though we did hit on that Falcons plus 3.5 last week. It's just a simple rule, guys. If you like it and you think the team has a shot to win outright, take the points, right? Have a little smaller unit on the money line and then take the points. Or played well in that Falcons game, in that situation that I mentioned. How about Joe Burrow, guys? Joe Burrow just hurt again. Injury-prone Joe Burrow. 3 months. He's out for the regular season, guys. Unbelievable. Wow. You got to look at a couple things here, right? You could argue and just say, yes, it's the O-line's fault, it's the O-line's fault. He hasn't played in front of a good O-line ever in the NFL, guys. The best team he played was like 26th ranked O-line. Okay? So yes, that's a concern. But he's also injury prone. So if you know your quarterback's injury prone, get the best O-line you can. Spend the money on the O-line. He'll take less hits, less chance he's going to get hurt. That's what it is at the end of the day. And the Bengals don't spend money on the O-line. They go and spend a lot of money on 2 wide receivers instead. So, hey, in the end, yes, he is an injury-prone guy. You can see here on the chart, in the graphic, 8 injuries, some in college, some in the NFL. So if your guy's injury-prone, protect him at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Updated power rankings. Yeah, and I expect Cincinnati to obviously fall. They started 2-0 somehow. They shouldn't be 2-0, but they did start 2-0. So hats off for them to find ways, but I expect them to start dropping down in the AFC North. Updated power rankings, top 4 stay the same, and we got a Chargers sighting in there as the 5th. They've been playing great football, guys. They deserve it. Anywhere from 5 to 10, you can move them around, to be honest. But I like this top. Bucks making their first appearance in the top 10. Rams moving up. Commanders are dropping in the power rankings. I update them every week. Go follow the hot takes Twitter if you aren't already. No UFC or PGA this week, guys. So it's a quieter week, and the pod came out Thursday this week instead of Wednesday. If there's a UFC card, the NFL pod will come out Wednesday. Just some housekeeping for you guys. Let's get right into the games. Profitable start to start the year. That's what we always like to see. You don't want to be behind too much, right? Week one is usually up and down. It's tough to predict week one, and that's what happened last week. It was up and down with no profit. This week, profitable card, profitable week. I just expect it to go up from here. Chargers -2.5 versus Broncos, total 45.5. Big divisional game, guys. I called it, right? I said one of these two teams are going to win the division. That's what it's looking like. Chiefs have struggled, 0-2 to start the year for the Chiefs. Can they still win the division? Sure. But everything's going to have to go wrong for the Chargers and Broncos, and the Chiefs are going to have to go on a big run. Only 11% of teams make the playoffs starting 0-2, guys. Keep that in mind. Chargers, wow. They've looked great. They beat the Chiefs. Week one. Week two, they beat the Raiders, the team they should beat. But what is impressive, only 9 points. They made Geno Smith look really bad. Really bad. That Chargers D's legit. Herbert's playing well. They got a good recipe going right now. Keenan Allen back's huge for them. Quentin Johnson, wow. He showed up. This is what we thought we would see from him, but he had that slow start to his career. Now he's looking great this year. Run game, I think, is probably their weakness. Still trying to find a way, I believe. Hampton hasn't really broke out yet. I think that's maybe their one weakness. But if the passing game's going, should be no issue. I want to see how this Broncos defense plays this week. It's hard to predict because they haven't looked great. They didn't look great against Indy, guys. Denver in general hasn't looked good. Now, Bo Nix, first game, dreadful. Second game, a little better. Numbers were a lot better. 3 touchdowns thrown in there, a lot of yards against that Colts team. Broncos should have won that game. Tough loss, right? I have that in a bad beat section. Terrible beat for them. It was like a 60-yard field goal. Colts kicker missed. They called leverage on the Denver guy. Terrible. I hate that call. Leverage they called, guys. Unbelievable. And then what happens? 15-yard penalty, I believe. Goes up, kicks it, wins the game. Colts. Tough beat there. But like I said, I'm not loving what I see from this Denver defense. I had more high hopes. It's only week 2, though. I don't like the stress. It's only week 2. I expect this Denver team to get better and better and better. And is this the game that they look better? It's a huge game. They don't want to move to 1-2, and Chargers move to 3-0. That's something you got to think about here as well. LA home advantage, I don't take it as a big home advantage. The fans there, LH, it's not, one of the hardest places to play, let's just say. And how is Denver going to bounce back after that loss? Tough loss, right? Chargers went 2-0 last year against the Broncos. Keep this in mind, guys. They covered both their spreads in those games. Both spreads were -2.5, -3. They covered both of them. And just because that Broncos haven't got going yet, you're taking a shot and predicting, hopefully they get going this week, right? Chargers look like the better team. Herbert's been better than Knicks. Their defense actually has been better than Broncos. So everything on paper says play the Chargers. But, right? That's where you want to be careful. But, right? If I had to bet, I'm going to be staying away. I'm going to be watching this game. Very intriguing game. I think Broncos are alive. I expect this to be a very close game, field goal type of game. Teasing up the Broncos in this game probably would be my favorite play. You can get +8.5 on a 6-point teaser. That's probably my favorite play in this game. 45.5 total is just tough, right? Lean the over. One game went over last year. Both teams have proven they can score this year. and be scored on. So besides that Raiders game, right? But hey, this is a great game. Not a great game to bet, in my opinion, but to watch, I love it. I love this game. Lean the Chargers due to just being the better team right now, but Denver could pop up and wake up anytime, guys. So be cautious. That's why it's just going to be a lean on the Chargers to win money line. Love the Broncos plus 8.5 in the teaser market. Eagles minus 3.5 versus Rams, total 44.5. Great game here between two 2-0 teams, right? Eagles just find ways to win games. It hasn't been pretty, guys. Their offense has not looked good, but they just find ways to win. Part of that's that tush push. That I believe is going to be banned by next year. Right? Hurts numbers terrible. You don't want to look at Hurts numbers. They've been bad. Even Barkley has gone under both times in his rushing yards. So they're winning games, playing good defense, finding ways to win, and doing enough. A.J. Brown, if you have him in fantasy, he probably lost both weeks. 27 yards last game and 6 in the opening week. So, yeah, A.J. Brown has not looked himself. Hurts has not looked great. Just the offense in general doesn't look great. And I think that could be, if they don't play a lot better, which they could, if they don't play a lot better here at home, I think Rams could come here and steal one, guys. Rams have looked great so far, right? Played a good defense. You know, week 1 day, I wouldn't say they look great, but they found a way to win against a very good defense in Houston, guys. I think that Houston's the top 5 defense in the NFL at the end of the year. And then they obviously blew out, I think it was Carolina, if I recall. And they should, right? Tennessee, sorry. They blew out Tennessee on the road, and they should. Right? They were able to put up a ton of points. Devontae Adams was able to get involved. And Devontae Adams, Puka obviously there as well. Those two, dangerous duo, guys. With Stafford looking good. The defense has been playing really well. Obviously got Williams at running back. I think it's a very good team. They moved up into my power rankings to 6. I think this is a good Rams team. I think they hang around. I would lean plus 3.5 on the Rams. I believe they have a shot to win this game outright. Now, I don't like betting against the Eagles. I don't like betting against the Eagles at home as well. I'm not pleased from what I've seen early on. But tough to go into Philly and win outright. So I do like that plus 3.5 here on the Rams this week. Monday Night Football, guys. Ravens minus 4.5 versus Lions, total 52.5. What a great game on paper, at least. If you remember last year, guys, sorry, 2023, not last year, these two teams played. Everyone was excited for it, right? Lions were getting good again. Ravens were always good. Two higher-powered offenses. Ravens won 38-6. No, I don't think that's going to happen again here. But I expect Ravens to win this game. Listen to some of these stats. So Ravens are 5-0 against the Lions. They've owned the NFC in the regular season. Lamar in prime time isn't something you want to bet against, guys. 18-5, 10-1 in his last 11. Just shows up in primetime games. Not something I want to bet against, right? Plus Ravens at home. I like to bet Lions when they're at home. I don't love betting the Lions on the road, especially in a big Monday night game in Baltimore. Only way I could look is the Baltimore Ravens here. Now, do I love the 4.5, 5? Not really. Not really. I could see Lions hanging around making it a game. Especially they put up 52 last week. They looked great last week. That offense is going to come in confident into this game, but the Baltimore Ravens defense played great last week as well. Mind you, it was against the Cleveland Browns. So I think Detroit hangs around. It's not going to be 38-6, guys. I think they hang around. You could see like a 3 to 7 point win by Baltimore. So that 5 is tough. That 4.5, 5 is tough. The books are telling you they don't know what to do with it. So if you can get creative, play Ravens in a alternate line parlay, money line parlay. That's the way I would look here in this game. But yeah, I expect the Ravens to get the job done. They're not moving to 1-2 either, guys. I just don't see that. 2-1 for the Ravens after this one. Teaser options. We've been cruising through the teaser and alternate line option segment here. And both of them had Arizona. And guess what? We're going to Arizona again until they prove me wrong, guys. Plus 8.5 Arizona we can get right now. Sign me up against the 49ers, who we don't know if Purdy's in. 49ers look pretty good, guys, but they're playing close games. So I expect Arizona having a shot to win outright. With that plus 8.5, I feel a lot more comfortable with. Houston as well, guys, plus 8.5. Again, shot to win outright. They don't want to go down 0-3. Big divisional game. Jags haven't looked great. And we're going to move that right into the underdog segment. 3 teams that are live this week. Houston, Arizona, I just talked about. And the Rams on the road. That would be a huge win for LA Rams if they can pull it off. Smaller unit. Not a bad look there. Exciting week number 3, guys. Some good games. Good games. We talked about 3 of them. Some other good games on the card as well. I'm excited. We're going to get rolling here in the NFL after a good week 2. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this week.